All right, we are back with another custom knife factory knife. They've done it again. Something bizarre, something over the top, something really out there. Okay, this was designed by Alexi. Okay, they didn't mark up all what this one was, but we're going to talk about what it was because, well, they neglected to mark the certificate of authenticity. I can't help you there. In normal CKF fashion, they have given you a bunch of extra parts and pieces, extra multi-row bearings, extra pivots, extra hardware, pocket clip screws, everything you need when you take apart the knife and a piece goes flying off of the table into the never to be seen again. It goes where that one sock goes from the dryer. We don't know where that goes, but that's where your hardware goes. Now, it does come with a full piece backspacer if you want to change out the two-piece backspacer. This is zirconium. Love zirconium. It's one of my favorite materials to use. It comes with installed a two-piece backspacer. But you can change it if you want a different look. Okay? This is ultimately going to go down to my buddy Mike down in Australia. This thing is a beast, all right? Is this something you're going to carry every day? We're going to talk about that. It's a big boy. It comes in at 12.4 ounces. Now, that doesn't scare me because I have been carrying the King Battle for 239 days or something like that at the time of filming, and it weighs in at 11.2 ounces. And is a great daily carry, I can tell you, after 200-something days. The Traktor is different. It's a bit crazy. In a good way. Yeah. So let's talk about it. So what you have here is a crystallized or crystalline titanium frame. Now, I am not an expert on that material, but I will put a link to an article I found on the interwebs down in the description where they talk about the whole process. Okay. Basically, it is multi-layers of titanium, much like a Damascus, if you will. Titanium put together, welded together, put under pressure and under extreme heat for 12 to 15 hours. And that gives you that kind of almost a stained glass looking feel where it's kind of cracked. That is just the raw material. That's not like a finish that it is the finish, but that's just a natural cracking, if you will, for lack of better words, on that titanium finish. That's full thickness. It runs all the way through. So unlike anodizing, this will never rub off, never wear off, never change. And it's always unique. There are no two pieces alike. It's like a fingerprint or a snowflake. It really is unique because this is just a naturally occurring process that you just can't duplicate. I think it looks really cool. You got superconductor inlays, superconductor pivot collars, more inlays over here. Now the pocket clip, it comes out of the pocket great. It goes into the pocket okay. You have to kind of sometimes wiggle a little bit to get it going because this ramp is just, it could be a little bit more out. Just a skosh for my liking. Okay, here's a look at that backspacer again. I mean, it's a cool knife. It's not one I'm going to run out and buy. Okay, you do have a thumb stud or the flipper tab. Flipper tab is pretty small and well hidden, but it does work. A tri-tone finish on the blade. This is M398, and I've talked about that before. I'll try to find a link to an explanation between M390 and M398. There are some distinct differences. So what you have here is a stonewash on the grind, mirror polish on the swedge, and then a hand rub satin on the flats. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Like, it's okay. You do get a lot of fingerprinting on that mirror polished edge just because it's kind of exposed, and in your pocket as you're handling the knife, you're going to kind of get some smudges and stuff on there. The thumb stud is removable right here, and you can have just a thumb hole. I'm not going to do that to try it out, but I think that might work a little bit better maybe. I don't know. I think the thumb stud works great for me, but you do have that option to take that off. I think it's a pretty cool knife. It feels really good in the hand, even though it's obviously not flat. It's got a lot of bumps and ridges and contours. I think that just works to the advantage of the knife because of that. Because your hand is not flat. It has bumps and ridges and whatnot. So it really melds right into this knife and feels really good. You can choke up on it if you so desire. Let's get into some of the specs. It's 5 3/4 closed, 10 inches overall. So it's not a small knife by any means. 4 1/4 inch blade. Behind the edge is .019 on both grinds. What else is there to talk about here? 3/4 inch thick, minus the clip, but actually the body comes out a little bit farther than the clip. So yeah, it's just a hair over 3/4 inch thick, but that doesn't bother me either because the King Battle is also beefy. This is a very similar size. It's also a 4 1/4 inch blade. If I can line these up kind of butt to butt. You have a little bit more handle here on the Traktor, but you know, it is absolutely a carryable knife. And maybe it's a little more practical blade than the Battle. I don't know. That's up to you to decide. This has been great for me for 3/4 of a year. Yeah, I think it's a cool knife. They do have it in different variations. Like I said, and even on the certificate of authenticity, you can see they have just M390. They have a Damasteel version. They have some different scale materials. So if you're looking for something like this, but you want different materials, you can find them. And at different prices. This one was around the $1,000-ish mark. If you want just M390 with a titanium frame, you're in the 800s. So you have options. These are limited runs. That's the Sharpie, the Kubi, and the Spyderco Delica. CKF, in general, they do limited runs of 300 or 500, and then they're done. That's all she wrote. So here's a i3T AAA flashlight, again, just for size comparison. So I've done a bunch of CKF knives. There are some that I do like. There are others that are a little bit out there, like this one. This is nothing I would buy, for sure. I like unique and big knives, but this one, it doesn't speak to me at that level. But maybe it does for you. It certainly did for Aussie Mike, so thank you, Mike, for sending it to me. There you go. Let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to hear them.